Hello and welcome, Fly Molo here, and I've noticed on the forums people are having a hard time beating heroic Maexxna. Now ironically, my decks aren't very good. I'm having a hard time with everything but heroic Maexxna, so I figured I'd show you how to beat him today in a video. Now the thing about heroic Maexxna is it's all about using his powers against him. Now I have problems, especially with a noob, because I don't have anything powerful enough to deal with his constant production of 4/4 minions. You just need a lot of damage to beat him, and because I don't have a lot of epics or legendaries, which means I don't have a lot of options, you know, understanding that epics and legendaries aren't everything, but I just don't have a lot of options, and I don't have any decks, and I can't think of how to build any decks that have enough damage output to deal with a noob. Grand Widow Ferlina. She's actually beatable with rush decks, and I think my warrior deck could beat her with some luck, even on heroic, but it would require a great deal of luck. Maexxna with my deck doesn't require a whole heck of a lot of luck. Right now I'm 2-2 against him. Let's go ahead and look at the deck that I built. I built a deck especially for him. Okay, and it's a paladin deck, and the key to Maexxna is battle cries and charges. That's the key. So, and then other spells and things that you can pop. But basically, we're using his powers against him. So we've got a buff here. Change a minion's attack to 1 can be helpful. Restore 6 health is quite possibly necessary. Here's a charge. Change an enemy minion's attack to 1. Here's another charge. Restore 3 health. Here's a charge. True Silver Champion. Buff. Deal 3 damage and draw a card. Double a minion's attack buff. Draw a card and deal damage equal to its health. Very replaceable card. That's kind of a throwaway. Deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. Charge, and Guardian of Kings. Now, the 2 times out of the 4 that I've beat him, I actually ended up using Guardian of Kings. That was a critical draw. Now, whether or not that's absolutely essential with this deck, I'm really not sure. But it just so happens that the 2 times I beat him, that was a key to it. Now, this is going to require a little luck. Basically, the deck is battle cries and charges, and then also spells, because you need to have the right cards in your hand by the time you've got 10 cards. And so you have to have things that you can dump and be rid of so that you can keep drawing cards just in case you don't have the right ones. Now, it all depends on what you draw. It also all depends on what he draws. If he pops out some high damage minions early that you can't clear, then you lose. But otherwise, you should be able to take him fairly easily. Okay, so this is actually a pretty good draw here, because I get the Restore 6 health, which I'm probably going to need, as well as a charge and the Battle Cry to restore health. This isn't a bad starting draw. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. And then it's all really going to depend on what he draws.
Job's done.
And that was a pretty good starting draw too, because I like breaking these. Now the key is he's always going to play his web wrap before he does anything else. And that is essential to understand. If Blizzard ever changes that, if that was an oversight and Blizzard decides to change that, then this strategy kind of flies out the window. So that's hopefully not an oversight. Hopefully they built that in, and that way this strategy should pretty much always work. I'm going to go ahead and save the Wolf Rider for now.
My eyes are open.
And heal myself up a little bit. That's good. The best one is the egg, because it has 0 attack. You're really hoping to get eggs out on the board, but I didn't. I'm okay with that. I'm going to go ahead and deal 3 damage to this guy.
Job's done.
Now, as you can see, his board is full. full of 1-point damage cards. That's what you want to get to. Or the 0-point damage cards. Because now he can do a maximum of 7 damage to me on any given turn. And that's exactly what I want. And that's also, incidentally, why I have, like, humility and such, just in case he were to pop something with, like, a 5 attack, which he does, and then you can change it to 1 attack, and you're fine. I'm going to go ahead and put this out, restore 3 health. I'm going to go ahead and restore 6 health. End turn. Now, at this point, with my Earthen Ring Farseers restoring 3 health per turn, he can basically do 1 damage to me per turn, is essentially what he can do. So that gives me 17 turns left to finish him.
My eyes are open. My eyes are open. Job's done.
True Silver Champion actually helps quite a bit because it gives me an extra 2 health on those turns. And I can play that on turn 10. That might actually be enough to win right there. Yeah, I'm not getting the draws that are going to help me. Now, one thing to note is that when you're playing the Paladin, you never want to use your Reinforce. You would not want him to put that into your hand and clog it up with 1/1 minions. That would be completely worthless. So you don't ever want to use that. I need to decide here what I'm doing. The problem is I now have 10 cards in my deck. So I actually am going to just waste a couple so that I have room for more, so that I can try and get more that help me. I wasted a turn there of 3 damage, which could be costly, but I think I'm going to need it. I think I need to get something better. And that is not something better. Plus, when I put the Wolf Rider charge out, then things get interesting because he's gonna dismiss too, and if he doesn't dismiss my healers, I could be in trouble. I could be in trouble any way you look at it. That'll be helpful. Maybe. That'll be helpful.
For justice.
And that's well, that's helpful because I at least have attacks every turn when I need them. So let's go ahead and restore. Restore. Charge. And see what happens.
Job's done.
He left one of my healing out, and what's he going to do to it? Destroy a minion. So now I have fewer turns.
Job's done. My eyes are open. Ready to ride. Ready to ride. Taste my steel. Taste my steel.
Okay, I got my healing back. That's a really good thing. There he is. Now I'm set. Now I'm good to go. I have more than enough turns left. So yeah, I mean, it's looking more and more like the Guardian of Kings might be an essential draw. Although I was close without it.
Job's done.
I think I was screwed without it, but now he can do 1 point of damage per turn. I can get 6 healing per turn plus an attack on him.
My hand is too full.
Okay, so here we are at what is, in fact, the last turn, and as you can see, I still had 10 health left, 10 turns left in which to beat him, which is obviously more than enough. We're going to go ahead and slam our 2 charges, and that's going to do it. And this has been How to Beat Heroic Maexxna. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.
Impossible! This is not over, puny mortal.